from the Workplace Ninja Summit in Lucerne. Highlights, insights, and simply interesting talks. This is the Workplace Ninja Podcast.
Yeah, welcome back at the Workplace Ninja Summit 2024 with a new recording. It will be fun. I have a lot of people on the table. My name is Frans Oudendorp and I have with me Peter.
Yes, Peter Daalmans.
Yeah, I need to. You can talk what you want if I don't open the sliders.
Yeah, there we are. Yeah, Peter.
It's always the same. Peter Daalmans, he's joined me as a co-host, but we have a special one, Mirko.
Hello.
Are you co-hosting or are you what are you trying to do?
I'm just here to look good.
Okay. and I saw that you were impressed by the intro, so that's good.
Yes. Amazing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will put it a bit further, then it will be better. We have some special guests. Ronni Pedersen and Jorgen Nilsson. And we talked already, not this year, but last year, a lot about community tools. But I was looking in the schedule, and still, it's almost the same title as last year. Unleashing the power of Microsoft Intune community tools. That was what we talked about last year, I guess. What has improved?
Well, a lot. I mean, the title is perfect, so that can't be better. That's why we use the same title, right? Of course.
Yeah.
But as always, we try to find new tools, new way of using them, and new tips this time. So we always try to shift around the content, so there's always new tips for everyone to take home and benefit from day one.
Maybe you have to add some version numbers of the session.
So unleashing community tools.
Optimized by Copilot.
5.8. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, is a community tools. Is that evolved by AI as well?
There are some community tools that start to utilize AI, absolutely. So you can ask them for Intune tips and so on, absolutely. But not the ones we're going to show them.
No.
That session will be Thursday. So
Thursday morning.
Yeah. But if people want to join, if they are here and looking with us, there will be a lot new stuff in it.
Always.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Something that you can unleash already?
Did you already prepare?
It's a big slide deck. We have 50 different tools right now, and we're still working on what we want to present.
Yeah.
Because it's not a matter of what we want to present. It's more, how do we decide what we don't have time to present. So it's always a big puzzle to make sure that we get as much as possible in there. But also, depending on what has been released recently, we will, of course, focus on that. And actually, during this event, we will also get some feedback from some of the other speakers around tools and versions and changes. We have some dedicated community creators that are even sending us email before the event and saying, hey, I updated my tool and this is the feature, and I will make sure that it's ready to be published just before Thursday morning when the session is. So they will actually publish the new release based on this session, Wednesday night. So we can stay on stage and actually announce them.
Ronni.
So
you should open source your deck and just let them update the slides of your deck.
Like a Wikipedia, you can just go in
and you just download the latest versions and then off you go.
The deck itself is a community tool, right?
It is.
As we don't have time to show all of them, download the deck, because in the end, there's all the ones that we didn't show as well.
Yes.
You have to build a PowerPoint GitHub thingy then.
Yeah, maybe. But there's tools. What we are seeing right now is there's a lot of network security going on. So there's an excellent tool from a guy that we will show tomorrow as well, that actually tests all the ports needed for the different parts of a modern managed device, basically. Mm-hmm. So he's put in a huge effort on that script to test all the ports and check if there's package inspection, and that's a real time saver if you're troubleshooting modern devices. That's for sure.
I think time saving and automation is probably the key things through the most of the tools. There's a lot of great tools out there, like the PowerShell app deployment toolkit that has been around for like 10 years, and a lot of people are building stuff on top of that to make it simpler for people who don't necessarily has scripting skills, but they still want to be able to benefit of the tools, and then they are building UIs and stuff that can automatically publish it, both to save time but also to avoid mistakes.
Yeah.
So
what we will do, we will add the link of the presentation in the description of this video, of this recording, and people, if you want to know which tool that was with all the port scanning and helping troubleshooting, please look into that deck.
Absolutely.
Other session that was on Monday, 10 Intune tips for admins. What kind of tips do you have for admins to make their life easier?
Well, there's a lot of tips. So, but basically, it was called 10 tips.
Yeah.
But that's basically because we thought that it sounded a lot better than 12 tips. So we might have.
But you have 30.
We might have a little bit more than just 10. Yeah. But it was, basically very broad. And, both Jorgen and I have been working in the endpoint management industry for, combined a lifetime. And we have seen a lot of things go good, and we have seen a lot of things go wrong. And we have learned our lessons and seen, and basically that's why we're trying to put into this session. But also a little bit about, strategy, everything from, should we focus on hybrid? Should we focus on cloud native? Why is it important to focus on cloud? Anything from, documentation, compliance, all kind of standards to making sure that everybody is aligned. Everything from role-based access control all the way down to monitoring. Jorgen had a great demo on how you can automate stuff so you get notified if something needs to be updated, or something needs to be renewed, or something has expired, something like that. So basically, a lot of tips that will, seems to be very simple, but it's a huge value if you do it right, and it can cause a lot of problems if you don't do it right. So that was kind of the idea. What have we seen that causes a lot of issues, and what is the best thing you can do to prevent that happening from you? So,
but you added also like deep technical stuff in the session.
Absolutely.
Not only like think before click or something like that.
It's just 4 clicks.
It's just for, we actually had the you remember that one? we talked a little bit about third-party patch management, and then we referred to one of the big sponsor of this event, Patch My PC, of course, and we actually had a little joke around patching using third-party add-ons like their tools is basically like just like flip the switch or just 4 clicks. Yeah. So we actually had that in the slide as a joke, but I don't know. The people here looks a little bit younger than us, so maybe they didn't get the reference. I don't know.
Or they want to forget the reference. Could be as well.
I think that one, yeah. Anything to add on that, Jorgen?
No, but I think those sessions are the fun sessions to deliver, where we can give tips on what we see and what takes time and how you can save time and the mindset shift you need to do on everyone when they manage the modern device, that you can't reach it anymore. You need to build different tool sets, different knowledge in service desk, all the way from first line and back. So they have the knowledge and tool set to help the customers as well. That is often forgotten when we do the projects as well. It's like, so we have all the technical stuff, but you need to train everyone. You need to train everyone in the organization as well. Everyone needs to know how it works now. So I think there's a lot of good tips in there with RBAC and admin permissions and default permissions that's maybe is too powerful and stuff like that as well. So if you missed the session, grab the slide deck. It's of course loaded to Sked.
Yeah, definitely. That's we have a decade of experience on the table. When I look at everyone here.
Are you saying we look old? Or?
Yeah,
No, I am old.
No, he says we are fat.
No. No, but when looking into the future of management, I think everyone has an idea on that. We know where we're coming from, SMS, config manager, and all that kind of stuff. What do you think of the future of network management, cloud-based, Intune? What's becoming the standard? What trends do we need to see? Can you elaborate a little bit on that? Maybe all of us. To start with, Peter.
I'm just a co-host.
Yeah, but I have the questions.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's really hard. Could have been imagining 20 years ago that everything was living in the cloud? No. It's for now. The cloud is it, and the power of the cloud, with all AI coming up. But is that still the case in 10 years? Do we still have a job? I think yes, but how it looks like, I don't know. It's going so fast.
I think many of the things that has changed, and that's already starting to, and has changed for a lot of years now, is that when I started doing endpoint management, it was all about making the end user productive, making sure that we could deliver applications, get the desktop up and running fast and all that stuff. And today, the challenges that we work to optimize is more related to security, actually. So I think that many of the things that we'll see moving forward is more and more related to automation. Also, in order to, one of the things that we also talked about yesterday is the importance of, if you only do, like Intune, and you don't consider, the security suite, everything from Defender and the whole E5 suite, basically, these are, the most valuable information that you get in order to actually make the decision on what needs to be remediated. Everything from, remediating vulnerable desktops, BIOS updates, driver updates, applications, basically everything. And that's a huge task to do if you have to do that manually with every single step. So automation is definitely going to be a huge thing in order to remediate your environment so you are not exposed to any security risks.
Yeah, I had a few conversations in the last year, I guess. The workplace will be as a service, out of the box, and the only thing we need to do is to secure them and to help people to work securely with the applications, with the data. Is that what it gonna look like?
I think there's something that people, if we look back again, I mean, it's been like since the mid 90s we repackaged applications and everything, which is some people think that's fun, not me anymore. I've done that, did that. But today I think also what we need to remember is that the operating system is important, but I think many has forgotten that the most important app they have now is Edge.
Yeah.
Edge is business critical, right? Every company needs to have a rollback plan for Edge. But we automatically update it. Yeah, but if it fails or if your application fails, we've seen that twice the last year. What's your plan? How do you solve it?
Yeah.
But we have Chrome. Yeah, but it's the same engine, so it's the same problem. So what's your plan? So I think there's a big mindset shift one there as well, that Edge is actually the most important thing we have. And we need to secure it, and we need to have the rollback plans. We need to have a plan what's happening if it fails, because that will be a new single point of failure.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all going through. Instead of legacy client server applications, it's all SaaS applications that you access through Edge, for example. And within to keep your data secure, you need to do stuff with Edge to access the data. You know who's accessing data and so on and so on.
Yeah, so I think the MAM for Edge initiative is great as well. So I think, but looking forward, I think as well, it's the operating system hardening it and the browser. That's basically what we need.
But that's like the wave, right? Well, back in the 90s, 80s, we micromanaged our operating system. We made sure that the user could only do what it was allowed to do his job. Then we moved to productivity. Everybody needed to be able to do everything, and now we can. Yeah, there's another mind shift because of all the risks that we also need to secure everything. And it's not micromanaging everything anymore. We don't need to do that because we have a lot of automation. We have a lot of knowledge via Defender for Endpoint and stuff around that. But it's always challenging.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
And it keeps it fun.
Of course.
Like you said, are we afraid that there will be any work to do in the future? Absolutely not. Because there is so many things that's changing, including, legal stuff, GDPR and all that. There's so many, there's constantly new challenges coming up.
And is it Intune in 10 years, 20 years? I don't know. I was starting with Novell ZenWorks.
Yeah, me too. Or Kick script.
All those things. And they are disappeared.
Yeah.
That's it. We are all community members from Denmark, from Sweden, from the Netherlands, from Switzerland. We have the main organizer on the table, and he sees people coming in.
Yes.
But contributing to the community, what kind of things are changing in the way how we are the community, are contributing to the community? So we have a big event at the moment. But we are doing a lot of stuff. Has that been changed in the past few years, Mirko?
Not really. I would say, let me think a little. I mean, it's a mirror of the society we live in and mentality. And I mean, if you grow up a community, it's like having a real community with houses somewhere. And if they are getting together and making interesting sessions, learn a lot, and I would say that thing will stay longer than the technology changes in the next few years.
Yeah.
Because also the user groups to meet each other, talk about the new problems or the new tools or whatever, that will still be the same, I will say, in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
Because that hasn't changed also in the society we live in since 100 years or more. Of course, there are some changes, but we will have that in communities as well. But it will still stay a thing together. Be together, learn together, talk to each other and stuff like that.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But what we saw in a few years ago with the corona pandemic, everything went virtual. And what we see, the younger people are consuming knowledge in a real different way than we are used to back in the days. How does that fit within the communities that we are running?
I don't think it's necessarily. I understand that there's new platforms and new ways of sharing things, and you're absolutely right. After COVID, a lot has moved to online events, but I think at the end of the day, events like this will remain for as long as I'm around, because people need to meet other people to share. Just to know that, other people are also having the same frustration, concerns, and, challenges. So we need to meet with like-minded people to share our experience and knowledge. And, one of the cool things about events like this is that you can actually, talk to the persons who attended your session, or you can talk to the people who delivered the session afterwards and meet them in the hallway and have these, great side conversations like you do in a normal job. One of the things that make people come into a physical office every day is not because of the work, it's because of the side conversation that they have when they go to pick up a coffee machine. Exactly. So as a human being, I'm pretty sure that physical events will remain forever.
Yeah, and look at as a presenter as well. I mean, and the good thing is to have the most optimal thing you can have is the session in the beginning of the week, because then people will stop you the rest of the week and ask questions and provide feedback on the session, which is amazing. That's why we do this, basically, for having all the other discussions. Yeah, you said this, but we do it this way, or we're doing it wrong, or so it's great discussion. So that's why it's even more fun to have sessions early in the week, because then you have time to get all the discussions.
And they have both, because you have a session on Monday and on Thursday. So
the organizer did a great job.
But you will also see on the quality, right? Because when we have to deliver a session on an event like this where it's physical, it doesn't really matter of the amount of attendees, because that could be the same online. But we might spend few days on preparing a session when it's a physical event.
Yep.
Where, when we have an online event, we might start preparing like 2 hours before the event, and then you just, so the quality is just, it's a lot better. But it's hard for us mentally to prepare for something and just sit and look in a screen and don't get any feedback.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the big challenge.
I would also say if you go out for dinner and then you meet the group and talk to each other, you can't have that in online meeting.
No.
Because if the meeting is done, you're gone and have dinner with your family. And so
That's the reason why we don't have a speaker room where every speaker can sit and lock themselves up, hide for the attendees. No, be present.
we have a speaker table, but
but that's in the open
area.
Yeah, but if someone sits there and is accessible, I think that is one of the important pieces of being in a community, to be accessible to the attendees. So if they have questions that they can ask you, that they can participate. And that's always what you say, Ronnie. If you are preparing for a session where you have physical people in a room, you are not afraid for the questions, but you want to be prepared for the questions that you can answer and help people. And I can imagine that you are a bit more prepared when you are doing physical stuff.
A lot more.
Yeah.
Because then they can throw real tomatoes on them.
No, but
you have to be prepared.
Yeah.
But it's much more fun as well. You can make the presentation interactive. So how many in the room have seen this? How many? You can make jokes. And if you make a joke online, it's like, okay, did someone
can do that
think it was funny or not? Or what happened? Did I fail? Or
it's
it's horrible.
The same, right?
No.
It's not.
Yeah.
That's actually an important part about delivering in-person events. You have to make the audience laugh at least once, otherwise the session is not
good.
But it's about connecting and recognition as well. If you ask, have you ever seen this, or like we did yesterday? We normally ask this when we do the 10 tips, because many of the tips are related to you working as an Intune admin will get more time to do other stuff by getting stuff to service desk or automate it, as you said. So one good question is, so how many in the room thinks they have too much time on their hands? There's no one, right?
Yeah.
So it's good to get some kind of interaction as well. So it's fun.
And try that virtual.
That's impossible, right?
That's sometimes hard, because I did as a trainer, that delivered sessions, and then virtual. It's awful. It's hard to do that. We all know that. But if you are in front of a classroom and you have that interaction, instead of being here as a speaker and have that interaction, that's so much fun on the on one side, but on the other side, that makes that people want to attend specific sessions as well.
Yeah, I normally say that when you do it in person, it gives you energy.
Yeah.
But when you do it in virtual, it drains you of energy because you're like tired afterwards, because you're focused on stupid things like lighting and and so on. So
Yeah. So we need to say, if you are listening or viewing this recording, next year we will probably have another event as well. So you need to attend.
Yeah,
definitely.
Or be on another other physical event. We will have our meetup in the Netherlands. You do in Denmark and Sweden as well. So I think, be there, ask questions, help people. Any other things, Peter? A lot, but for this moment?
No, not for this moment. No.
No?
I think we're
then we're done. Thanks for joining, guys. Talking about some stuff that you deliver on the community, like we did last year. I think we have a bit of a different conversation, and it's good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
And if you like this video or podcast recording, like and subscribe, and so you know when the next one is coming up, because on this event we are doing a lot of recordings that will be available in the next few days and weeks. So if you subscribe, you know when it's available.
Podcast recordings, not session recordings.
Video sessions. Say it how you like, but they will be online. Like and subscribe and see what's coming next. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.